Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's been some time since we've seen you for the Ways of Old. This is Ways of Old Lost Days. And I am your Game Master, Gilbert Ramos, aka Ramos Nomad, everyone on social media. I have no announcements aside from welcome back. We're so happy to see you. This is a bit of a different story. Something that is a bit of a precursor. Those of you that have seen and watched the entirety of Ways of Old might recognize that this is alongside the past of a timeline. Today we explore, and throughout this mini-series we're going to explore where Nyoka went, what has been accomplished, people that he's gone to, and the relationships and connections that he's made. This is Lost Days, and how Nyoka ended up where we saw him in our finale of Ways of Old. With that being said, we're going to jump right into what you're actually here for, meeting our heroes. Let's start from left to right. Edge, be kind.
Yeah. I'm Edge Survival or Edge the Nomad or just Edge. That works too. I'll be playing Nyoka, as you know, a Viper Witcher. That yeah, I guess is taking a trip back down memory lane. And yeah, overcoming some obstacles that he recently experienced. That being losing his arm. So yeah, come with me as I deal with that.
Excellent. Let's walk through that trauma together. Thank you for being here, and let's jump over to Williams.
Hello again, everybody. Warren here, and this time I will be playing Kurah, a Witcher of the Griffin School. Wait to see what we do.
Welcome, so glad to have you. New to The Witcher and new to the Witcher system. We will very much look forward to seeing Kurah. And of course, last but not least, Rissa.
Hello. Hey y'all. It's the Rissa Rave here. Gonna be playing a mage in this story. And hopefully not giving everyone else too hard of a time. But no promises.
I suppose we'll see. But with that being said, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Also new to the Witcher system. We're going to jump through this. A bit of a disclaimer for our viewers. You may see some moments where some pauses need to happen. For us personally, those of us that have played Witcher, it has been some time since we played and really explored the system. With the editing process, we'll edit larger moments out, but there'll be some moments where things will stay in where we think it's important to see how we came to that conclusion, or if we decide to ignore a rule, because that will happen. Why we decided to ignore that rule, so on and so forth. So, be gentle, be kind in the comments as we go through this, and remember what we're doing here. And for our new players, it's their first time playing Witcher. Don't be a dick. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. We cast our eyes toward one. It has been 3 days since the beginning of the Third Nilfgaardian War. Vizima is sacked. War rages from the south up into the north. It is a time of tumultuous chaos. Bloodshed is not uncommon. There are struggles throughout the continent, and with the world at war, no one's life is easy. We focus on one who is fighting a different war, one who lost something. Nyoka. It has been 3 days since the city of Vizima has been sacked, and Nilfgaard wages war into the north. But for you, this marks a different occasion as well. this is how you lost your arm. Fighting a higher vampire called Renwick, you fought bravely. And to your credit and your companions, you and Cersei, you and Ingrid, you were holding your own for a time. But the battle seemed to turn, and everything went dark. Your arm, just above the elbow, has been ripped from its socket. Torn flesh and severed bone. This is a difficult injury to live with. It has been 3 days since you left your companions. You left them with a note. You went off to do what witchers do on your own. Did you have a plan?
There's always a plan. Until there isn't, yes. But I guess the first healing. Yeah, healing. I can't do much if I can't do much. So, heal, train, and come back if there's anything left to come back to.
True. It's been some time already. You spent some time kind of unceremoniously laid up. Doctors tended to your wounds. You laid alongside soldiers and even just everyday citizens of Izima that fled. So you've healed a bit. Still, the injury itself is present. This is unfortunately something you can't heal from. You will not. Your arm is gone, Nyoka. And I want to take a moment as we begin to get into your head. Your mindset. You've lost a limb. Do you view this as a loss against an enemy?
It's not over, so it's not a loss. It's definitely a problem. But I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what to think at this one. Yeah, I've never been in a position like this before, so I'm not sure what's.
Understood. We join you now, 3 days after you had left your friends. You're making your way south, getting away from the war front. Getting away from, maybe you see it as needless combat. Because you know something bigger is coming. And even right now, something as bigger is out there. We join you in Maribor. Still technically part of Temeria, but Nilfgaard has made its way past this. This is claimed. This is theirs now. Their borders are expanding, pushing ever upward on the map. And soon, the son of Nilfgaard will cast over everything. Does this concern you?
I mean, the Black Sun, reaching its horizons. No, it doesn't concern me. Not like it used to. I got more important things to be thinking about in the moment. Yeah, I have more important things to be thinking about. Though, with the bounty on my head, and being in Nilfgaardian territory, I am cautious as much as I could think about it. So,
Indeed. We join you now, trying to get a room. You traveled far, even just in the 3 days you've been gone. You stop in Maribor. You need to rest. You need a place to sleep. Going up to the innkeep. Tells you, got one room left. It's not much. It's not anything to write home about, but it's yours if you'd like it.
How much?
And kind of looks at the sort of shared living area. This sort of, it's an inn and a tavern both. And he looks across like the people that are sharing drinks and everything. Most wear the Nilfgaardian black. He says, times are tough. How much can you spare?
A few coin. Yeah, I have a few coin. You could take what's left, but I can help in other ways if you need be. Though it's just for the night.
It is all I need, but unfortunately I don't even know what coin to accept. Florins, ducats, Bizant, what do you have? No, Nyoka, you were primarily, last we saw, you were using Redanian crowns.
Yeah, I got crown.
Say 6 crown. Who knows what it'll be worth later, but I would call that fair.
How much?
6 crown.
6 crown. I'll give 10 for food and drink as well.
You have a deal. Make yourself at home. So if you'd like, we'll find you for food.
And I do so quietly, looking for an inconspicuous place in this crowded Nilfgaardian tavern.
It's strange, no one really seems to care. These soldiers have taken this place, and it's now a moment of respite, and now a moment of calm for them, before they're sent back, or they're called forward to the north. You have a moment of contemplation, Nyoka. Where are you headed? You're going to heal, but like you said, there's a bounty for you in Nilfgaard. How far south do you plan to travel down? And why not go north? Is there a reason you came south, do you think? Or was it just riding?
It's just riding. I know where I need to be. Yeah, I know where I need to be. That's eventually, I believe, east in the mountains. But for now, there's no real destination. This is I guess a healing journey for the time being.
Indeed. As you ponder this and what comes next for the future, our eyes are cast elsewhere. To 2 siblings. Also in this tavern. Also in a sort of inconspicuous place. One of the built-in sides of the wall, this booth. You have a moment of drink. You don't have a room here. Where do you think you might be headed? North, south, or do you even know yet?
We do not know. We are simply traveling and looking for work.
So, Kurah, Visha, we take a moment and we look toward your table. Save for now your descriptions. Let's get a look at, is there any conversation? What meals are you eating? Is there anything that we discussed?
What is the cheapest meal this place offers?
There's a thing called perpetual stew that inns and taverns used to run. Don't you look at me like that. I love perpetual stew. Fuck you guys. I'm keeping that in. It is a constant sort of pot of stew that is kept on a low broil. The heat kills germs and kills any bacteria. And you just go by and stir it and you drop veggies and make meats into it every once in a while. It is a wonderful thing, and I hope to have it one day, like consistently and forever. And I hope to pass it on to my children, my children's children, and I hope it lasts generations. That is the cheapest meal.
Right.
Well, I guess I'm eating perpetual stew.
Visha, on the other hand, is a little wary of the stew. Mostly because she doesn't trust people than the actual food. I think her recent purchase has put her in a bit of a bind. She doesn't have much coin. So she doesn't complain at the meal is eating, but she is casting her eyes on the people within the tavern. Very much being careful. She understands where she's at and who's here. And sort of finds herself leaning into shadow as they're eating.
The war broke out a number of days ago. You guys were in the midst of looking for work, and unlike normal where there's hunting of monsters and slaying of beasts, the work that you would find in this area is mercenary work. Hunting people, killing men. Is that something that you would all be interested in, or would that be abhorrent to you?
Visha certainly doesn't mind. People are expendable as far as she's concerned. They keep making more of them, so most times they deserve it. So it's alright.
As far as Kurah is concerned, killing killers is one thing. But if I'm going to kill a human, I need to know they are guilty.
Is this a discussion you guys think you might be having at the table?
I would say probably at the moment, Kurah is eavesdropping, listening on to what's going on around her, more so than trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think every once in a while there's a sort of small talk that's exchanged between the two so that they don't look too obvious. But otherwise, she's in a similar manner is eavesdropping. Hers is more looking for marks, looking for people who would be easy targets to gain coin from. She is quite good at making potions and things. And maybe even better at faking the potion she's making them. So.
It was delicious. Are you sure you don't want some?
I'm fine. I'm alright. It's passable. It'll keep us nourished. At least for now. But this is not a forever thing, and don't expect me to keep eating it.
There's a break in your conversation as a younger man comes by and drops off 2 drinks for you. Drinks you didn't order. And he says, "Here you go, loves. From the gentleman across the way over there."
He peeks around his body to see who's sent us the drinks.
A not terrible looking Nilfgaardian soldier, out of armor, wearing the emblem. He seems to be engaged in conversation with some of his friends, some of the other soldiers. And he looks, as the drinks are being dropped off, he looks very eager to see your reaction. There's a big smile on his face. He looks boisterous, maybe fresh. Your stereotypical sort of soldier's jawline and well kept, clean, but you can tell there's an air of sort of arrogance. He's very proud of his soldiering.
Visha gives a small grin and winks at him. Nilfgaardians have coin.
Kurah would lift the drink towards him, then place it back on the table. And give a smile.
I will say, this is maybe not the first time this has happened for each or both of you. I would say this is probably the first time it's happened where someone has gotten you both a drink like this. It's kind of bold, in the sense. It's out of place. There's one or the other, usually, but to do both it speaks to the arrogance.
Yeah, Visha is very much like, oh, I can work with that. An arrogant young lad I can I can work charms with. So yes, she's wearing a long black cloak, and there's just peaks of a red dress that sneaks out, and she just shifts her leg over slightly so that you can see flesh. She's got a slit up her dress, so that's there and shown. And it's just a little flirtatious movement as she pretends to take a sip from the drink.
Kurah, seeing that, would just kind of chuckle and shake her head while looking at the table. Don't fuck him up too bad, please.
I'll be gentle. Unless he asks otherwise.
We break from this as you have both indicated that you're watching this tavern. Rowdier folk enter in. A group of 3 step in, and there's some words exchanged between them and the person at the front for the innkeeper. He explains to them that it's full. Tavern is full up. Just gave his last room away. They demand to know to who. Innkeeper points, and there's a sort of disgust and a look as they move through this space. Nyoka, as you have your drink and you eat your food, a hand is placed on your shoulder. You are not spun round, but gripped, and then someone leans in very close to you, sitting in this chair next to you. It says, "Right. Heard you got the last room."
I suppose, yeah.
We need it. Helps the war effort, you see.
Well, it doesn't sound like they have any more room. So.
Aye, there lies the problem. So you're gonna go up there. You're gonna tell them you've changed your mind and you'd like to sleep elsewhere for tonight.
I wouldn't, though.
I think you would.
Is there any sort of compensation or reimbursement, or...
Are you hindering the expansion? Are you hindering the war effort? Is that your intent? Committing treason against the Emperor.
I thought this place was already kind of conquered. We're not exactly on the front lines here, so.
But it's a staging point. And we need the room tonight. So why don't you fuck off? Go up, see if you can get your money back at the very least. You're owed that, right? But it's either that, or sleep in a cell.
Oh, are you the bailiff? Or just a mother soldier?
His friend looks over his shoulder and says, just fucking do him. There's no reason to keep us up. And says, I'm gonna give you one last chance, friend. We need the room. Go tell him you've changed your mind.
And y'all all are sharing the room?
One room.
Okay. Well, let me finish my food. And then, yeah, I guess we could talk outside or something. That's
Fair
fine.
enough. He takes his hand and knocks the plate onto the ground. Finished.
I'll reach for my drink to finish my drink. And I'll reach for it with my left hand and then be like, go for it with my right.
You're not stopped. And they watch as you drink. Visha, Kurah, you see this.
Kurah's just sitting there watching. Here we go.
So it
And-
begins.
Can we see the initial movement of the arm come up and missing part of the arm? Can we see that from where we're sitting?
Let's find out together. Your first roll, both of you, your first rolls of Witcher,
Mm.
I would like you to make an intelligence and awareness roll.
20.
Same.
Twins.
Fucking twins.
Yeah, you saw it. It was an instinct. It was, correct me if I'm wrong, Nyoka, but a quicker movement of reach and then realization and pull back. So it was quick, but you caught it.
Poor bastard.
Should we intervene or see how it plays first?
Well, 3 against 1 isn't very fair. What say you?
Kurah's gonna stand up and walk over.
As you do this, Nyoka, was this the intent of finishing your drink? Was this to calmly, at your own pace, or downing it?
Oh yeah, I'm go ahead and down it and offer them to follow me outside.
And this is
Visha brings her drink with her.
excellent. And this is what occurs all at once. Nyoka, you drain your cup. You step outside, and they follow you. And Kurah, Visha, you can see they're like hungry sharks. Watching.
Mm.
They notice his arm too. And there's a cruel look in their eye.
Visha, having seen that, she does look back over her shoulder at the man who bought her and her sister drinks, and gives him a wee smile, and very much tosses her hair over her shoulder, and almost in a like come hither manner, just in case things get a little rowdy. We have maybe some backup. So yes, she will follow her sister out, still holding the drink. Fully intent on getting these men before they hurt this poor baby with no arm.
Understood. Outside, Nyoka, you step out. Where are you headed? There's a space between buildings, a sort of alleyway if you want to lead them there, or you can head out into the open. What would you like to do?
Wherever there's more, I guess, seclusion, not as much attention.
Into
I will.
Sort of wider alleyway. Continue, please.
Yeah, I will ask, is this like to the death, or is just a beating okay?
I ask them this and just sort of look and says, "What happened to your arm? You a soldier?"
Nah, no, not quite.
Nah, you don't look Nilfgaardian. Must be a soldier. Temeria, I reckon.
Nah. No.
Give me a persuasion check. Okay. It'll be empathy persuasion.
I'm sure it will be. You're gonna have my first roll be my worst stat.
Welcome back, baby. Welcome back. Ways of old, lost days, baby.
Yeah.
And you did lead them into a tunnel, right? That's where,
So-
or not a
so-
tunnel. I'm so sorry, an alleyway.
Yeah.
A wider alleyway, yes. The space between buildings doesn't form like an alleyway that we would naturally know as in modern day. Space between buildings is it's almost like a laneway.
Okay.
Little did you know it was going to explode. So I got a 20 total.
Understood. That is something we should clarify as well. For our new players, if you roll a 10, it explodes. It means you'll take the 10 and you'll roll again, and you'll add that onto whatever roll you initially rolled, and that'll be your ending total. However, if you roll a 1, it also explodes, but in the reverse. You'll roll your 1, and you'll roll again, and you'll subtract it from the value. If you roll a 10, and a 10, and a 10, it'll keep exploding until you stop.
I rolled a 10 first, and then I rolled an 8, and then my empathy is a 2, and I have 0 persuasion. Especially to humans. So, yeah, dirty 20.
Excellent. They look you over and say, leader of this little trio looks and says, "Just a beatdown then. For our trouble. And for our sympathies to your lost limb." And they move in. Now, in this moment, we are going to enter combat very briefly. A sort of quicker style of combat. Nyoka, what would you like to do?
I would like to take my sword out and attack the closest one.
You may certainly do this. So, roll me and get our handy dandy common rules doc out with our handy dandy combat chart. Are you aiming for a body part?
A leg.
Understood. We'll keep that in mind for combat purposes. Roll weapon and your weapon attack, and I will roll defense for the for your combatant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's this. I believe you said you're using your sword, so this will be swordsmanship.
29.
Give me your weapon damage, please.
Yeah, 20 damage.
Okay. 20 damaged with the half mark for the body location. Did you add your since it's been a while? Did you add your body and everything? to the roll?
Did I add my body?
Yeah, you have your that's the modifier to it. Because if you have a high enough body, it changes your.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Perfect.
4d6 plus 2. Yeah.
Understood. So these guys are still armored. That for your hit location and everything like that, it's halved, so it'd be 10. Or I'm sorry. First we subtract the SP from this.
Oh, and also the it has armor piercing.
What's armor piercing?
Armor piercing. The weapon negates damage resistance of any armor that they hit. Improved armor piercing weapons also have an SP value of the armor they hit.
It doesn't have any resistance or anything to it. This is just regular armor.
Oh, okay.
So this
Hold on, it's not done. It also has poisoning.
there it is. Yeah, this is the one. Continue.
Yeah. Where is it? Poison or venom courses through your body, doing 3 points of damage every turn, which armor does not negate. To shake off the poison, you must make a DC 15 endurance check, which takes 1 action.
Absolutely. All right, so we have damage currently, and we subtract it by XP. This will be 7. Going by the hit location, we round up, so it'll be 4. Subtracting the stopping power of his leg armor and applying to HP. So take some nerve control. You successfully hit his leg, but let's get into that. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the closest person he's very quick. He's very quick. And I would imagine somewhat taken off guard since they settled on just the beating and I took out the sword. So yeah, he faints. He acts like he has 2 weapons. He acts like he's dual wielding another weapon. Attempting to feint with his left with nothing in it, no extension at all, and really just you'll probably look at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he attacks with his other hitting it. Did I do any like severe damage to it or just
no crit or anything like that, but the damage you've done here is going to cause a spray of blood. Where exactly on his left leg would you like to hit?
I mean, hope you said they're armored, so I would try to be aiming towards the least armored bit, probably towards the back
of the knee.
Back of the knee area.
Understood. He drops to one knee as this happens and yells out, Visha and Kurah, this is the scene you enter in on. This one-armed swordsman now seemingly attempting to hold his own.
Visha, when she was walking out of the tavern, lit a pipe and has the drink in her hand, and so she comes around the corner and she's smoking, looking at it, and she grins at the sight, but it's still 3 against 1, and that's not very fair, is it? So she would like to do some magic about it, if that's all right. Yes, I would like.
For the sake of the combat, I would like both you and Kurah to roll a d10. We'll see to determine who's going to be going first of your duo.
Okay.
Visha's going first.
Got an 8.
By all means, continue your thought process, Visha.
So I'm going to flavor it first, and then we'll do the fucking rolls. This man seems to have at least one handled, and so I will take one of the others. They don't have any kind of helm or anything like that on, I'm assuming.
Helms are off. They're still armored, but the helmets are off currently. They probably set them down inside the tavern somewhere.
Okay. So she comes around, she's smoking, and then she holds in until she's maybe about 5 feet away from this fellow. And as she exhales, the smoke in its stream wraps around the man's head. And mechanically, what she's doing is she is doing the Helios smoke, which once it wraps around the target's head, this target, if they fail to defend themselves, they are immersed in smoke and considered blinded and suffocated. Each turn, the target spends their action to attempt another defense check against a new spellcasting check to end the effect.
Understood. So let me pull that up on my end as well.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
This is going to cost me. Yes, this is going to cost me 3 stamina.
Are you using your focus to cast this spell?
Yes.
It'll cost you 2 then, because I believe you have focus 1, correct?
That's right to do. Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Right.
That will save you a good 90% of the time, I promise.
Yes. All right. So, they need to do essentially a dodge.
Perfect.
Yes, and then I will just, I guess, roll the spell itself, and then it doesn't say the amount of damage that it takes, but the automatic input is 1d6. So I don't know if I need to increase it or leave it at that.
Blinded and suffocating. So suffocating is actually... Suffocation is actually a damage in and of itself. So there's no damage done by the spell itself. Suffocating is a status effect almost.
Okay.
Every round they'll take 3 damage, which armor does not negate. Yeah, that's essentially what's going to be damaging them, is the fact that they are suffocating. They need to defend against this, though. What is the... Do you happen to know off of your spell... What was your spellcasting check?
I don't know.
So, yeah,
I don't rightly
So
know.
you roll a d10 and then add your spellcasting as well as your... what is under will?
Okay, I hit the sort of automatic button on the sheet, so I assume it accounts for that.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see what's going on here. I see. It did not account for it, so I'm going to ask you to... I'm going to move your sheet real quick. I need you to make a spell casting roll.
Okay.
And then that's going to be the DC that they have to beat, basically.
Okay. All right, it's a 17.
Okay. Excellent. So, right off rip, he's exploded on a 10, he's rolled a 14. Let me see. And it's a dodge for him, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he has failed his roll with with that in mind, with the restricted vision. So fails his roll. This takes effect. This wraps around his head. We've given. If you'd like to add more flavor to it, by all means, now's the time.
Yes, she smoking exhales. It wraps around her head, and there's just this almost ghostly laugh that comes from her. A giggle, if you will, and says, "Well, mighty impolite. But I suppose none of you lot know about the fun of death." And she just lets him suffocate.
This one also drops to his knees as the smoke takes, and he claws at his throat. There's a gasping. The other one has screamed out. There is a third as we move over to Kurah.
As soon as Kurah rounds the corner and sees that there is a sword drawn, she's going to head straight into the last one that hasn't been engaged and swing with her sword.
Simple, subtle. I like it. Okay, so we're gonna use our handy dandy combat chart. Kurah, I need to know fast or strong. So what that means is it's going to determine basically if you're able to do this twice or once, and strong attacks have a -3 modifier. But a fast attack is going to be able to do this twice. The strong attack is once, but with a -3 modifier, and it's a boost in damage.
Kurah would probably want to end this as quickly as possible and just be done with it. So I'm going to say strong.
So you're going to make one attack with a -3 to your roll, deals double damage against the target. Now, my next question for you is, are you aiming for a body part? No?
Anywhere she hits is fine.
Okay. So give me your weapon attack. I will roll defense.
Not so hot. I got a 12.
Okay. 12 still hits. Not by a whole lot, so there's not going to be a crit or anything like that. But I do need your weapon damage, please.
20.
20. Multiplied by 2 with a strong attack. We are going to determine your body location now. Give me a roll. Roll me a d10.
It hit the left leg. It rolled a 10.
Okay, excellent. So left leg. It's kind of up and down a little bit. We double that for your strong attack. And with the left leg, it's going to reduce that by half, essentially. It's multiplied by 0.5. So 20 damage total. Now we subtract the SP of this, leaving you at a 15. I'm sorry, 20. First we subtract the SP, and then we do the 15. Okay, yeah, 15. The HP, subtract the thing by 1.
Mine has armor piercing as well. I don't know that.
It does not currently. The armor piercing will help if it has any specific damage resistance against piercing or any sort of anything like that. This is just basic ass armor. They're not that serious. But this is gonna mess their lives up a little bit.
Ooh.
Cool.
Be
All right.
A dick.
Take some narrative control. You're gonna deal a good chunk of damage to this person's left leg as well. What happens here? What do you do? You're coming up behind them. Keep in mind your narration.
Yeah, as soon as I round the alley, I come in and I swing. And as soon as it cuts into their leg, I'm just going to look at all of them and just be like, 3-on-1 is not very fair, gentlemen.
There is no reply. One of them is suffocating and choking. The other has taken it in and is screaming. Now a third has dropped to one knee and is also screaming. Yours is a bit more, correct me if I'm wrong, not exactly a swift slice, but it's a brutal aggression strike. And there's no reply. However, I'll say this. All of you are smart enough to know that screaming is going to cause some attention to be drawn. So we loop back around. I'm so sorry to cut you off. We loop back around. I would give them the soldiers' actions if right now there is a system in Witcher where essentially they have taken enough damage where they're kind of in shock at this point, and one of them, even the one that's not in shock, is currently fucked, unable to do anything. I will give him his defense roll to try to not be suffocating anymore.
I have to roll, I think, another spell casting.
I'll tell you right now, because I think if I'm not mistaken, it goes off of your original spell casting roll. If it doesn't, does it say that there's a second roll made?
I will tell you right now. It says
a new spell casting. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
There is always a chance. So go ahead and give me your new spellcasting roll.
Okay.
He has rolled a 1. and then subtracted 6, so I don't see it as a big chance, but we'll see where we go.
Yes. A 10.
Yeah, no, he can go fuck himself. So he's
right,
gonna take,
right.
with suffocation, he's gonna take 3 damage right off rip. You said, and it's, Nyoka, your poison is each turn? Yeah, every one of their turns. Cool. So he's also gonna take
Still
3
muted.
damage. He's also gonna take 3 damage. So we're gonna loop back around, as they don't really have an option to do anything to Nyoka. You are joined by 2 people in this moment. Are you?
You are
Still
muted.
muted.
I'm fucking around.
You
It's
All
like,
right.
bro.
You are joined by 2 people, and I will take this moment. As Nyoka, you realize this. I will take this moment to get Kurah and Visha.
I wanted some little bit of clarity, because Visha, right?
Mm.
Okay. Just make sure I pronounced that right. But
Yes.
with the Witcher medallion, anything within 20 meters of a curse, a spell being casted, or something magical, my medallion vibrates.
Mhm.
So, just for clarity, I know magic
Yes,
is the
and
foot.
to be fair, the way she's hiding it.
She's not hiding
So
it.
even if you're... No, I mean, I think a passerby would just see a woman smoking a pipe. But, you know, walking in, she wasn't like, don't see I'm doing magic. You know, she just very much...
With
yeah.
someone with a keen eye, they could probably put 2 to
Right.
2 together.
Exactly.
Indeed. So in this moment, I will ask, let's start with Kurah, and then we'll go to Visha. What does Nyoka see in this moment, in this exact moment, as he notices these 2 joining him in this sort of larger alleyway? Let's start with Kurah.
Since the man dropped to his knees, you would get a flash of the eyes of Kurah as she's looking mostly to you. With her, see her in her armor, which, if you knew of the Griffin School, is Griffin-styled armor. She proudly displays her Witcher emblem on the outside of her chest. Long, flowing brunette hair, mixed colored skin, and one of her eyes is an emerald green color, and the other a golden yellow. What was it? Yellow?
Mm-hmm. Golden
Yeah.
amber, golden yellow. Yeah.
Amber. That's the word I was looking for.
And for Visha?
Visha is a mirror image. She has the long, flowing brunette hair. They're both standing rather tall. They're about 5'11", which is pretty large for women at the time. They have the same face, the same coloring, but Visha wears a long black cloak and the peaks of a red dress underneath. The front dip's quite low, and she's got some necklaces and, you know, rings and things like that. The difference, though, as she steps forward in whatever vague moonlight, you will see that there is scars on her face that look like a smile. Visha, in particular, is looking down at the man who is covered in smoke, and she's going mimicking his choking with a smile on her face.
This is what
Question.
you see, Nyoka. Yes.
Are you as well dressed in Witcher-esque clothing?
No. I have no such Witcher emblem or armor like my mirror image has. Just a long black cloak and the red dress.
Black cloak, red dress. Okay.
This is what you see, Nyoka. And it is your turn once more.
Yeah, we should probably leave unless we're fighting too.
I'll tell you, you can choose to make attacks and knock them unconscious, if you so choose.
Oh, yeah, then I'll kick him. I'll kick the dude that's in front of me to knock him out. Hopefully, to make him unconscious.
It won't require a roll, as drop to a knee and has started to scream, and there's not really a... Witcher combat is fast. Very fast. So you can simply, as you notice this back of the head, a pommel of the sword to the back of the head, and knock yours
trying
out.
to kill people? Jeez.
That's what I'm doing.
Visha is opposed to these two. Hers doesn't make any sound, so she, after she's done taunting him, she will start running his pockets. Do I find any coin?
I will let you know. I'll make some rolls in the behind the scenes as you run this dude's pockets. There is one left screaming. As this dude is choking, I'm gonna make another roll for his defense. If you kind of give me some spell casting, I'll give the scene over to you, kind of.
11.
Understood. Still choking. Still dying.
I'm gonna knock him out. After a while. So
as Visha starts to sort of run this dude's pockets, Kurah, yours is still screaming, and is now.
As soon as Nyoka started to reach to knock his out, Kurah would have done the same. As soon as the opportunity presented itself, he's going out, because I don't want to deal with that either.
Understood.
That's annoying.
All right. You have a moment to yourselves. Kurah, you may knock this individual out as well if you so choose, the one that's Visha's got handled.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of look at her as she starts to run his pockets, I guess, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm going to come up and knock him out, and then please release it. We don't want him to die.
With the threat handled, I turn the scene over to the three of you.
Right, of course. And then she will almost like wave her hand in front of his face, disperse the smoke as she releases the spell.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Right.
Are ours in any danger of bleeding out? Is that a thing?
Oh, without a doubt, yes, absolutely. Let me make this very clear. Welcome to The Witcher. This is gritty. These men were not going to just run away, given the chance. They were going, like, that would be their reaction. That would be their wish and hope and desire. You guys fucked up their legs. They're gonna need some hospital time.
we actually gave them a gift. So
The way I see it is if they didn't want to be grievously wounded, they shouldn't have attacked a man. That's all I'm saying. So, if they live or die, up to the gods, not me.
While I agree with that, I don't want to leave them here bleeding in an alley. So I'm going to start ripping their clothes up and binding the wounds so they at least don't bleed out.
Difficult to do as they're armored.
The armor should hold it in place even better for me to rip it. Whatever sticks out, I start ripping.
I'll tell
Or
you
their
what,
belts. They probably have belts on.
I'll tell you what, we'll meet in the middle, shall we? Go ahead and give me... give me a first aid. Crafting first aid.
Alright, look,
So
I didn't say I was
Visha-
good at this.
While
Alright.
that's happening, Visha will start pouring her drink on their heads. What? You want it to look less, conspicuous? They're just a bunch of
Or you-
drunkards. And she just starts pouring the liquid over their heads.
That's smart.
I'm gonna give you a roll for the 2 that are bleeding. 1 for each. 11 and 14.
You do your best.
They'll be fine. Nothing to worry about.
At least it's stalled so they don't bleed out in the alley. I'm just, you know,
Forever trying to help, I understand.
if I'm not over
I
here
think we
running
filled-
pockets.
We fill the quota for helping people today. And about taking his coin, he wasn't going to need it. Waste not, want not.
I don't know if there's a quota. Anyways, you seemed like you had it handled, but we wanted to make sure. Hi.
Is your medallion on display?
No, it's tucked in.
Okay.
He tucked it in when approached by
Mm.
a gentleman initially.
However,
Okay.
in this moment, I would like both Kurah and Visha to again give me an intelligence awareness, please.
Well, you said you
Uh-huh.
tucked it in when you were initially approached. Would we have seen it in the bar before they came up to you?
Probably.
Well, awareness.
I tend to try to
Continue.
keep it hidden. Sorry.
Fair.
Yeah, I tend to try to keep it hidden, and given that I'm in Nilfgaardian territory, probably even a little bit more so.
Is it bad? Is it so bad?
No,
It's great.
We
We're
rolled
twinning.
the same
We're
shit
twinning.
again.
We're twinning!
What's the result of your rolls?
17.
Wow.
You don't see the medallion, and you haven't seen it just yet, but what you can tell is the combat has sort of stopped, and this one-armed man looks to all of you. You can recognize the eyes of a witcher. That sort of cat-like slit, the coloration. That is not a human man. It is not a mortal. It is
Mhm.
one of the famed mutants.
Visha walks up to him, grabs his face, gently, not hard or anything, grabs his face, and it definitely turns it as she's looking at his eyes and says, "Another witcher. Well, what happened to you?"
I lost my arm.
Clearly.
So is this a thing? Mages and witchers just hanging together? Is this?
Oh no. This is my sister.
I could tell.
Right. So,
I would hope so.
you know, politeness would call for just a thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Witcher. She gives like a little bow, but it's very much kind of mocking.
Well,
Are you okay?
fine, I guess.
Perhaps we should move this conversation elsewhere.
Right. Back
Well-
to the tavern then.
Yeah, let's go back to the tavern. Perhaps another drink would do pretty well.
I think it would. I've lost mine. And she'll go back into the tavern.
So you guys turn back to the entrance of the alleyway. You're not alone.
Pause. Did I get coin? Did
We'll get to
I?
that. I promise we'll get to that.
Okay. Okay.
Money.
Money, baby.
You turn and you're not alone. Unsheathed sword and arm out in a ready stance for combat is that young boy, that young man who bought you both drinks. He says, "Don't move. What happened here? Someone?"
I was attacked. Had to defend myself, love.
Give me deception. Deceit, empathy.
It's all right. It's all right. I want to be so clear. Terrible at deception. So here we go.
I remember while we were making your sheet, you're like, I don't need deceit.
I said I don't need to lie. I got a 16.
Oh, still good.
You know, the pitch of her voice drops and she becomes very damsel in distress.
You said 16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't lie to me. What happened?
All right.
Arms
They
down.
attacked. Wouldn't you prefer them arm up away from the weapon?
Gestures toward your sword, meaning drop your swords.
Oh, mine's already sheathed because I was busy trying to save them.
I would have sheathed it. How many are there?
Just the one.
It's the one.
Just one? Oh.
Just one. Now, darling, no need to get panic. Our friend here, newly made, lacks a limb, and these three were poaching.
I don't want to hear anything from you.
Why are you scared of me? You don't need to be scared of me.
Take your weapons off. Drop them on the ground. You're all under arrest.
That's not how this is gonna go.
I really
Oh,
just
we
paid
can have fun.
10
Do
crown
you?
for the night. So,
Let's talk about this. Look around you. Do you think that's going to go well?
One call from me and the rest of the whole the tavern comes out. Drop your arms. Make this easy on yourselves.
We're trying to. You're not letting us.
I'm gonna just walk away.
Move
I have
to
a
move past him
question.
or to move back down the alley, further down the alley.
Well, Blade is put up, of course. But I guess the opposite direction. I'm not running away, but it's like, yeah, I'm just walking away. All right.
Your question, Visha.
My question is, how scared does he look?
He doesn't necessarily look scared. Right off rip, I'm gonna give you that he doesn't necessarily look scared. There is something else there. Go ahead and give me human perception.
22.
22. He looks frustrated, tired, maybe. He's not scared. And there's a confidence there. And maybe he's right. If he does call out, the tavern is filled with Nilfgaardian soldiers, off duty or not. There's like a unit at the very least of soldiers in there. So he's confident, but there's something he's just tired.
Does it seem like what he saw was merely the aftermath? Or did he see... Okay, so he didn't see me cast magic. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so she is going to step forward. You know, keeping her arms and stuff visible.
You take a step and he stops you and says, Don't.
I'm not going to hurt you, love.
He calls out
You
to
said
you,
you want to
Nyoka.
know.
Says, Don't move. Continue, Visha.
You told us that you wanted to know what happened. I'm merely coming closer to let you know. Our friend there lacks an arm. These three were attacking. Doesn't seem very fair, does it? Trying to mug him out of his room and whatever he has on his body. So I didn't lie. We were simply defending. There's no need to call out. We'll go. You won't have to worry about us none.
I would like to say, Visha, this is a very noble attempt, a great attempt at a sort of reason and heartfelt persuasion, a sort of leveling of the human spirit. This is honestly for your benefit and for you as a character, knowing who your character is. This is a lot. This is big. This is a lot of character growth, even before we even really get a chance to realize it. However, it's terribly belittled by the fact that Nyoka has not stopped moving. And he is going
Fucking
to
fool.
rush past you. And
Well, I did try.
as he runs, as he moves past you, he screams out, Nyoka, I said don't move. And he's going to take a swipe at you.
So he has to move past us to get to Nyoka at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking whack at him as he runs past us.
Let's
God
have...
damn it.
We are going to re-enter combat. But before we do that, we're going to take a brief break. And we'll see you all on the other side. See you very, very soon.
America has always been a place where conservatism and religious ideology has been fed by men to the uneducated like milk from their mother's teat. What this breeds is an environment for blind obeisance and ignorant fear, which controls the masses just as much as the blood of the covenant or the barrel of a gun. Men bring the raising of ground and the pillaging of Gaia's bounty, and this has never been more of a threat to the Garu nation than it is now in the days of the apocalypse. However, all of this is where this story begins, but not yet where the tale begins. For that, we will need to reach back through the time and haze of the deep umbra to find the beginning. Walk with me, you little wolf, and reach us through time will show you a story that even ancient Phoenix has forgotten.
Another witcher. What happened to you?
I lost my arm.
Not all witchers are honest and true.
There's a war coming. A war that's going to take way more lives than any political drama.
You are intent on being a part of this war.
I'm intent on doing what I'm supposed to do as a witcher.
The protection of humans is the agenda. It's the whole reason we were made.
You cannot save everyone. No one was there to save us. No one was there to save me.
And wasn't that a damn shame? What if somebody was? What if somebody had been? How much different would our lives have been? Now we are older. We can be those people.
Good evening, my lovely night people of the PNW. How are we all doing this evening? I know. Any excuse to break out the cheap kegs and munitions is a cause for a good time, am I right? Nothing could go wrong with that combo. In all seriousness, please remember these are uncertain and frankly dangerous times. We can make this a day of our independence, a celebration of our freedom and remembering the free will of our community. And there are certain things that once done cannot be undone. Guess we'll see what happens next. Only time can tell, and well, we have a whole evening ahead of us. So enjoy the fireworks.
Hello and welcome back. We're so happy to have you. For you, it's been a number of milliseconds. For us, it feels like an eternity. So, we're jumping right back into it. We have rolled initiative as multiple things would like to be happening at once. The Nilfgaardian is rushing you, Nyoka. In this moment, our initiative order is the Nilfgaardian, Nyoka, Kurah, and then Visha. So, what we have here, he is not going to be aiming for a part. He's going to take a moving swipe, and it's going to be just a fast thing. He's not trying to like cut you down and kill you or anything like that. He's just trying to give a sort of a warning swipe. So, not aiming for a part, a fast attack. What is I would like you to roll a defensive action. It's going to be your choice of, dodge, reposition, so on and so forth.
Dodge, escape. Yeah, I'll dodge. I think that's a 1. I imploded.
Unfortunate.
I imploded twice.
I'm so sorry.
You didn't need that leg, right?
What is the result of your roll? Needed to determine crit and such.
Hold on. I imploded for a third time. Give me a
Shut
moment.
the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious, and this is the first time I've ever taken a dice out the dice tray and say I'm not rolling you. This is the first for that. So
Dice prison.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
Hey.
sorry. I apologize. I misspoke. You can only implode once because there's a
Okay.
yeah, we determined that on Ways of Old we determined that was looking at the book that was not correct. That is not a correct thing. So you can only implode once. You take
Implode
minus
once.
1 to your roll.
Okay. So that's my bad. I
Ooh.
misunderstood.
You're good. And I had misspoke earlier in this
To be honest, I would have preferred to continue to implode until I got a better thing.
A better
'cause-
roll.
Yeah, so now I just got a 1 plus 1, which equals 2.
You're taking a -2 to whatever your bases are. What did you choose? Your dodge, right?
Yeah, so what is reflexes plus dodge?
Mhm.
Reflex 12, dodge is... Where is dodge?
Should also be under reflex.
9. So that's 21.
So mine is the 2.
Yeah.
Would be
21, 19.
Not terrible.
not terrible, but just enough for me to get a hit in.
Damn. Attacking a man who's got no arm.
In the
It's-
back.
In the
For
back.
shame.
Honorless. Wow.
Honorless, they say.
I would like to,
We'll
if I
have-
could flavor this as,
Yes.
Yeah, when he's striking, I'm trying to parry using my arm that was sliced off. I'm trying to parry and using that as the lead, which just makes it a fumble, and he ends up hitting me. And it's like, oh, okay.
Understood.
Honorable, maidenless. Look at you, Nilfgaardian warrior.
Oh my god. Alright, so we need to determine some body location. That is a 1.
Please let that be a left arm.
1 is the head, isn't it?
Either 1 or a 10 is the head.
10
I
is the
think it's
leg.
a 1. I think it's a 1. He hit me in the head?
Let me see.
Wow.
In the back of the head.
Damn.
Oh,
Innocent
jeez.
man.
Let's see. Hit
Wow.
location. 1 is the head.
Jeez. I thought he wasn't trying to kill me. I thought this
And
was a
this is
warning
why-
hit.
And this is why. This is why we kill them. Because then they do this.
Okay,
my
this is
God.
going to be...
I already lost an arm.
Okay, so we multiply by the hit location. That'll be times 3.
Oh lord. Okay.
Are you wearing head armor?
No, I don't have
sorry,
no head
uh,
armor.
Apologies. You have no head armor?
No, I don't. What Witcher
Alright,
wears
there's-
head armor?
Ingrid
This
is
one, because I bought it for her.
So, no SP to subtract. We multiply by hit location and the resistance. That brings us to 18. Yes, 18. My math is right. We're going to apply that to your HP. You're going to take 18 points of damage.
Was I at full health?
Yes, you would have been at full health from the
Okay.
days of healing and the time you spent laid up.
Hmm.
You see this fucking vein in my head? Golly.
As you move, as you go to parry, he thought he was fast. He thought he was quicker than this. And so you move and he takes a swipe and he tries to pull back at the last moment. It's too little too late. Doesn't have the reaction. Cuts a deep gash across the side of the cheek and on the side of the head. The pullback is going to leave... You're going to have a scar here, Nyoka. It's going to be difficult to heal. It's not going to cleave you in two, thankfully. But how much of your hit points did you just take? What's your total?
My total HP is 40. So minus, how many did you say? 18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not good with math.
Okay. Not a problem. That's just under
12?
half. Yeah, so you have it's just under half of your HP. I need you right now to make a stun save. All it is rolling a D10 and looking at your stun value, hoping that you're rolling under your stun value. This is a lot to take in this one moment.
Can I just be stunned?
You can choose that. I don't know why you ever would. That's a terrible... Let me make this very clear. Stun is a terrible, horrific condition to be under.
You can be
basically
stunned by the
freeze.
audacity, but don't take the stunned condition.
Stunned reads, you can't take any actions while stunned, and anyone attacking only has to beat a 10 DC to hit you. To end this effect, you must make a stun save. The roll takes your entire turn. If you're stuck while stunned, snap out of it immediately. Stun in combat means you're frozen. You're basically... So you can. I'd much prefer you roll for it.
Okay. I'll roll for it. Yeah. What am I rolling again?
A single D10, no value, no modifiers added to it. You're just hoping to roll under your stun save.
Under my stun save, I rolled an 8, so
What is your stun?
8.
And which your means does not beat, you are stunned. So, with that being said, he's not going to... He has the opportunity for another attack because of the fast option. He's not going to make that. This was not the intent. And as of right now, Kurah and Visha are not combatants. However, Kurah, there is something you wanted to do, and with us moving into combat fully, it would be Nyoka's turn. Nyoka, you may take your turn and make your stun save.
It's just a D10.
Just a D10, hoping to roll under an 8.
7.
Perfect. Then
Um,
that is your turn entirely.
Oh, I can't use shit?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Sounds crazy. We move over to Kurah.
Yeah, as soon as he darted past me, the guard, I would have tried to turn, whip the sword out, and slash at him to stop him from what he was about to do. And now that Nyoka's been hit so hard, that's all the more reaffirmed, because I don't see that he pulled back at the last second. That was a lot.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, and what would you like to do?
As he's darting past, it's basically just like whip and slash. Not really. I guess aiming would be at the body, but not
Well,
really.
let's start off
Just
with
kinda
the first question is always going to be strong or fast.
strong.
So go ahead and roll that. That's the -3 to your roll.
But oh, what the hell?
What did you roll?
It says first attack 7, and then it says fumbled by 3.
Did you
Oh, you
select
rolled
the
a
correct
1.
strong?
Yeah.
Did you roll a 1?
Not that I can tell. Oh, yeah.
Then you
Mhm.
have fumbled in this moment.
Yeah.
What is the total?
7.
7.
Fuck's sake.
This
Welcome to
guard
Witcher
just
Combat.
TPKs.
That was a 1, y'all?
That was a good
Crazy.
guard.
So, this is not only a miss, Kurah, as he rushes past you. This is a fumble. So what we're going to do is determine what that means for this instance. So with a fumble, bad things happen. I think that's obvious. But there is a chart to be used. I would like you to... You said fumbled by 3?
That's what it says, yeah.
Okay.
Rolling 1d10 equals 3. So I'm guessing that's what you were going to have me roll just now?
No. Yeah, so there's essentially, it's what you fumble by. If you fumbled by 3, the result of this for a melee attack, there's no major fumble. 1 through 5 is not a major fumble. There's nothing crazy that happens. You're good. So you just simply miss, and you miss by a seeable amount, even by someone as Visha, as you guys are moving. You and Nyoka both, maybe Nyoka more so, are incredibly fast, but even Visha, you can see that Kurah's attack was slow. Was too slow to catch him. So, in this moment, you used a strong attack. You're unable to do a second attack for this. However, you have your attack action, or your actions during your turn. You may take an extra action by taking another -3 and spending some stamina. What you're going to do, if you would you like, is that an option you would like to take?
Yeah, why not? I'm kind of embarrassed. I would just probably reflexively try to do something to recover some of my esteem.
So firstly, I'd like you to take 3 points of stamina off. So you're going to spend 3 points of stamina. And what would you like to do?
So I'm thinking that, like, she went to pull and swing and kind of fumbled with the scabbard, could get it out. So she came down too slow, and then basically just a backswing back up.
Okay.
If
So-
I can do that.
Fast or slow? Or fast or strong, I mean.
We'll do fast. So I
Okay.
don't have -6.
You're still going to take a -3 to this. So go ahead and give me your first attack. This is going to be one of the two.
The first one was a 5
Okay,
with
let's
a
deal.
1.
Let's deal with your first one for that's a 5 total.
Yeah, it rolled a 1 as well.
So a fumble. What was the
Yeah.
fumble by?
5.
By 5?
Yeah.
Y'all are making me bounce all around this book. First episode.
We're getting all of our experience in one. I should have just
That's
cast a freaking
crazy.
sigil.
Mhm.
I don't know how that works yet though, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, casting. We're here to learn. You could have cast a sign. There's Axie is right there. That's crazy. I miss Ingrid. All right. So let's see. You fumbled by 5.
Yeah.
No major fumble. So another miss. What's
Okay.
your second attack?
18.
Okay, so to peel back the curtain for you guys, because this might come in handy for you guys to know later on as well. He doesn't get to be free and freely just taking defensive actions and dodge. This is not like Dungeons and Dragons. This is not like Vampire where you make a defensive action constantly. He has to spend 1 point of stamina past the first defensive action. So he got a free dodge on the first one. Now he has to spend stamina to dodge each following attack. So you've taken one attack with the strong attack. He got that for free. First of the fast attacks, he has to spend another stamina. Second of the second fast attacks, has to spend another stamina. So just giving you guys a heads up for future reference as well. Yes, Nyoka.
Isn't there a bonus because he's surrounded? Technically, he has more than one combatant around him.
For each person past the first, there would be a bonus. Yes, because this is someone essentially flanking him. Let me pull that up. Regardless, a fumble for the first fast attack is gonna be rough. For the first strong and first fast is gonna be a little rough. However, he is going to get a subtraction essentially to his roll for each person. Other than the first that is nearby him and kind of making his life hell. But for this sake, let's see the second attack. What was the result of
Said
your roll?
let's just talk.
Yeah.
18 on the second one.
I tried. I did try.
22. Minus the 1 from being surrounded. It's 21. Unfortunately, also still a miss. So that is your attack action, an extra action to do another attack. Is there anything else you'd like to attempt to do? You've moved a bit as well, Kurah.
Nah, I think I've embarrassed myself enough. I'll just smother his ass. I'm done here.
All right. Visha, you can see this combatant, and it's not the fact that Kurah has missed these fast attacks either. It's this Nilfgaardian soldier has realized what he's done, and is not a slacker in this regard. Kurah, you move to attack, and he's moving out of the way, dodging and sort of using the blade to like tap yours and move. It's not that you're missing. It's not that you're terrible
He's
at sword
parrying.
play. He's actively defending, to give yourself a little more credit. Visha, this is not uncommon. It's not that Kurah is the best swordswoman in the world, but this is going to draw out if you don't do something. And with that, we move into your turn.
Right. I think. Do I do magic about this, or do I try to talk to him? I'm gonna try to talk to him. And I step a little bit closer, sort of off to the side a little bit, and I say, "You don't want to do this, lad. Look, you've already injured him something severe. Let us both just walk away." And if you're still interested, perhaps we can spend some time together. Let these two go.
So
She's definitely laying on the charisma here.
the initiating verbal combat is an action that you can take during this. So I would like to see if we can even begin verbal combat in this regard. So
Okay.
let's have a persuasion check from you.
Okay. Persuasion. Let's see. Okay. 27.
In this moment, you can see he's still sword kind of angled toward Kurah. There's a pause, a hesitation. He's willing to listen. But he says, lower your weapons.
Go on, everyone. Lower your weapons. We're no threat.
With that being said, is that your turn, Visha?
If I could get closer to him, she'll
You
get
can
closer.
absolutely make a move. You also have... I'll say this, since you're attempting to initiate verbal combat, he has, like, maybe against better judgment, has lowered his guard a bit with the overexertion of his own, and then with this conversation taking place, he's open to it. So you can take an extra action at a -3 while spending some stamina to continue verbal combat, essentially, and to sort of make that first round into verbal combat if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, if she can keep him talking, then that's, time in which he's not actively fighting Kurah or this strange one-armed man. I imagine that we've had situations like this before where Kurah has had to, be at the defense, and then Visha talking their way out of it. So, yes, she would like to continue that verbal combat.
I would like you... So verbal combat is a whole other system in Witcher, and it's a fantastic system.
Okay.
This does not negate, because I would like to make you all aware, depending on your actions, we'll see if this is something that is continued or successful, so on and so forth. But this is your turn in combat, and verbal combat's taking place within that as of right now. What is your goal here?
To get him to, the long and short of it is to get him to stop, to get him to not continue attacking, and certainly not to call on his friends for aid. So she's trying to eliminate any thoughts he might have that these people are threats and they're something I need to deal with. She's very much like banking on the fact that he is tired, that he is like, this is the third Nilfgaardian war. He is young in this war, but like likely no stranger to this type of thing. And she's just like, it would just be so much easier if we grab a drink and just relax. Very, very much that. Like, we don't need to do all this. Oh, get messy for what? If you're gonna get messy, at least have it be fun.
Okay. So, I will forego... I lied. I'm not going to forgo this. What is your will and what is your intelligence?
Okay, so my intelligence is a 9 and my will is a 9.
Okay. Is there a section on your character sheet that just says resolve or res or es?
Yes.
Cool.
That's 45.
That is your health pool in verbal combat. What it is, it's your will plus your intelligence divided by 2, and then all of that number times 5.
Okay.
That is your health pool for verbal combat. we're going to, with your goal and what you're trying to do here, we've determined what your goal is for the verbal combat. You are going to be making sort of verbal attacks through this. So this extra action, you're going to be making a verbal attack. Now, there are antagonistic attacks, there are empathetic attacks. It sounds like you're trying to use an empathetic attack, and I can see...
Yes.
Of the 4 right now, there's Befriend, Appeal, Persuade, and Seduce. I can see... I don't see Befriend as the goal here necessarily. I could see either Appeal, Persuade, or Seduce. I will tell you the effects of these 3, and you can determine what you would like to do here.
Okay.
So for Seduce, a defender is a little hot under the collar and takes a cumulative +2 damage for each seduction for the combat. For Persuade, if you end a combat with a successful persuasion check, you have convinced them to agree with you. For Appeal, the defender thinks you probably have the right idea and takes a cumulative +1 damage from empathetic attacks for each time you succeed at Appeal. Those are the 3 effects for Seduce, Persuade, and Appeal. What sounds more in line with what you would like to do?
Oh, Seduce.
Understood.
Seduce.
So go ahead and let's have we're going to roll your seduction skill.
Okay. A 12.
12.
Yes, she's very much saying to him, like, we can just forget all this nonsense, go grab a drink, and then if you're still feeling up to it, perhaps you can take me to your room.
So, with his roll, he takes no verbal combat damage or anything like that from this, and what that means is that it's a failed attempt at this currently.
Okay.
He says, I just want to get the story sorted. I want the truth of the matter, and I want the justice is done. Nilfgaard is not barbarians. And this is Nilfgaard now.
She says, I understand, and I told you the truth. These 3, and she gestures to the bodies, attacked that man there. We simply came to his aid. They're still breathing. They're fine. This one here, bandaged them up, as you can clearly see. I'm not trying to kill them, love. Just trying to make sure there's no bloodshed here. As you said, Nilfgaardians, not barbarians. Though I will say, these 3 here, their actions say otherwise.
With that, go ahead and remember to mark the extra stamina you spent to take the extra action. It's subtracted 3. We move into our next player's turn. Nyoka, you are no longer stunned. Or actually, technically it would be the Nilfgaardians first. He's not going to attack in this moment. Kurah, do you seem receptive to verbal combat? What would he see in your situation? Are you preparing for another attack? Or are you holding back?
Well, like she said, we've been in this situation probably before. So I would be on guard and at the ready. So it's a matter of his perception at that point whether he thinks I would be trying to attack, but I would not.
I will,
as long as he's not moving.
To aid here. During the thing she was saying, she's slowly moving herself so that she's in front of Kurah. So at the very least, it gives him the perception of, like, even if Kurah attacks, they'd have to attack me first.
Okay. In this moment, his eyes aren't on Nyoka. He's caused a great deal of damage, and from what you're being stunned, Witcher combat is fast, but he thinks that you are a non-combatant currently right now, Nyoka. So he's not really focused on you. He's going to continue verbal combat with you, Visha. There are some defenses you can make in this moment. He's going to attempt to persuade you. So he's going to roll his empathy persuasion. you have some defense choices to make. You have an opportunity to ignore, to counter argue, to change the subject, or to disengage. What disengaging does is ends the argument. I don't really see that as an option here, unfortunately.
No.
Changing the subject, there is no extra effect. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Again, I don't really see it as a choice here.
No.
But counter argue and ignore. Ignore is just the extra effects is none. You can just ignore their attempts to persuade you. Counter argue is instead of taking a defensive action, you can make an attack that negates the first attack. If you beat the opponent's roll, the roll is negated and yours does damage. So, what would you like to do here? Would you like to try to ignore or counter argue?
I think she would counter argue.
Go
in
ahead.
This moment.
So in this, would you like to seduce, persuade, appeal?
I think in this she'll appeal. He's made mention that Nilfgaardians aren't barbarians. This is not how they do things. So she's going to appeal to that, to his honor.
Excellent. So appeal is going to be leadership.
Lord,
and he's going to
okay.
roll. He's going to roll persuasion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, leadership, where might you be?
Should also be under empathy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I missed it then. I found it. Okay, I have nothing in this. Jesus. Well, here we go. 16. Say this is not the way of Nilfgaard, and yet here we are, attacked on our first night.
So, a successful counter argument is made. I need you to roll me some verbal combat damage. With his failure, you are going to deal some resolve damage to his argument. What that means is, for you specifically, persuasion, it's going to be 1d6 divided by 2 plus empathy. So give me a 1d6.
A 3.
Divided by 2. We're going to call that... I don't remember if it's round up. I think it's round up. So 2 plus your... What's your empathy?
My empathy is a 7.
So it's going to deal some 7. You're going to deal 7 damage to him in this verbal combat. With that being his turn, that moves us out of his turn into Nyoka. What would you like to do? You have recovered from your stun. It's up to you.
Ooh.
You've heard me talking to him. He's not fighting.
Ooh. That's fair. Well, I attack.
Fast or strong?
God damn it.
I fucking knew it.
Can't make this easy. Gosh.
I'm actually going to try to disarm him.
Oh, excellent. So with a disarming attack, again, you guys are making me bounce all around this book. Yeah, I still essentially need to know if it's going to be strong or fast.
With the disarm attack? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Disarming is by making a weapon attack, you can attempt to knock an opponent's weapon out of their hand with a well-aimed strike. You succeed, you knock weapons out of the attack and send it flying 1d6 meters away, random direction.
Joint attack.
Your joint attack. Now, this is a fun feature. We haven't seen this in some time. Kindly describe a joint attack.
A joint attack is basically I just attack at the same time with both weapons.
These are with your Viper Blades, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Viper Blade.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you do that with only one?
Well, you know.
It just turns into 2 attacks with
try.
one hand.
I'm going to tell you... I'll tell you what.
No, you're supposed to play in it. You're supposed to get it right because it's muscle memory. He's in flight or fight, right? Muscle memory. He attacks. He usually joint
It's
attacks.
supposed
He
to be 2
is
attack,
attacking.
correct?
It's just 2 attacks at the same time. So essentially, I would think I'm joint attacking, but really it's just one attack.
That's what I'm going to say as well. Is it would be one of the damage values.
Yeah.
Or the attack rolls, I should say.
Or
no,
maybe he's just so caught off guard that he actually just get a bone to the face.
You hit him with the nub?
You hit him with the
Maybe.
nub.
Roll me your joint attack.
Okay.
That's crazy. That's wild.
I've been
You said
waiting for
one
this
attack
since
or
we
both
started.
attacks? I'll just do both just in case. And then you decide which one you want. Would you want one of them to be more of a melee or a brawling instead of a sword?
Given the situation you find yourself in, it's gonna be a brawl on that attack, yes.
A brawl? Or did you want it to be a sword with the minus debuff of not having an arm? So it would be 11 with a minus 11.
No.
No? Oh, okay. Okay.
Brother.
So one is a 20, and there's a a 20, and then there's oh yeah, that's for the brawl. The 20 for the brawl, and then the sword is 11 for. Damn, I'm terrible at math. 23 plus 4, this 7, 27. 20 and 27.
Okay. Let's deal with your brawl first. The attempt made by essentially going through Phantom Limb Syndrome. Said 20 on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. That hits. I'm assuming not aiming for a part, correct?
No.
Okay. That hits with a margin of 3. Go ahead and give me your damage from just the nub.
Oh, okay. Look for nub damage real quick.
It's 1d6. Now
1d6?
with this, it would be 1d6 plus 2. I'm not going to give you the plus 2 because there is no fist. There is no essentially, you were cut off here. You're going to move too far and hit. I'm not going to give you the plus 2.
It's a 6.
And I've got it.
Nub to the face.
Well, let's see if it is a nub to the face. Body location being determined. Give me a roll of d10.
You hit him in
2.
the leg with your nub. I swear to God.
Got a 2.
With a 2, torso. So no, the damage multiplier is just a ×1. It's just straight damage. 6 damage subtracted from the stopping power of what he's wearing, which currently right now, again, as previously described in the tavern, no armor.
Hey.
Now, the result of your second attack, something a little more deadly. What was the result?
27.
Okay. Now this is a little more impressive. It is more than 7 above, but we're going to get all to that. Aiming for a part, there was no aiming. It is above defense, so let's above 7 and above. So let's math is hard. So right off rip, he's going to deal with a crit, and that means he's going to take damage right away. Something that is not mitigated by any armor. This will be a simple critical. So he's going to take 3 damage right off rip. Not aimed at the location. Give me a... this is You roll me 2d6, please. Edge.
3.
You're gonna hit his leg. Yep, this is gonna damage his leg. He's gonna take a -3 or a -2 to speed, dodge, escape, and athletics. And he needs to make a stun save. He's stunned. Cool. All right. So he's gonna take some negatives to his leg. -2 to speed, dodge, escape, and athletic. He's taken 3 damage right off rip. Now I need you to roll your weapon damage.
Jesus Christ.
This dude's dead. This is
Right. Is he gonna be alive after?
since he's not wearing any armor.
He's fucked.
16.
Okay. We've already determined this is going toward his leg. So that I believe is halved. 16 halved. Oh no, we did subtract from the SP right now. Okay, cool. There is no SP to subtract. So 8. Handy dandy
Is he
calculator.
dead?
Is he dead?
Is he dead?
Oh, I messed up, but yeah, it's all
What's
good.
up? Go ahead.
I didn't add my accuracy to my attacks.
What's your accuracy?
It's a +2, so I don't know if I guess the margin does make a difference, right? So it would have been a 29 rather than a 27.
Would have been 5 damage.
You're trying to kill him.
I don't know. Honestly, what's that? All I said was disarm. That's all I said. And he said, roll this and roll that and make damage.
Yeah.
And
Well, here's the thing. When you disarm people, you usually shouldn't use your sword.
I have to make a weapon attack. That's what it says, weapon attack.
Not bad. Okay, cool.
And how else are you going to take somebody's arm off? I don't
All right.
know.
So with this, it's a complex critical. He's going to take 5 damage right off rip. With the location you've rolled, it's going to be a fractured leg, -3 to speed, dodge, escape, and athletics. With the disarm, though, the damage is not necessarily necessary. So we're not going to factor any of that in. We're good. He, however, is disarmed.
And the blade goes 1d6 meters away.
So, as you do this flurry of sort of this quick bit of blow here, you hit him in the chest, and it moves a little bit closer than you expected. Nyoka, again, that phantom limb syndrome, and there's a pain there, not just for him, but from the impact of where your arm ends. You readjust on the fly very quickly. You deal some damage as you cut his leg and move the blade up and wipe the sword away out of his hands. 4 meters away as it scatters. He's disarmed. Now that's your action. Would you like to take an extra action?
Is he screaming?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I won't.
Understood. So, that moves us from Nyoka to Kurah.
Is he still stunned? Did that stay?
No.
Or since he didn't take the damage, he's not stunned?
No, since it was a disarm, there wouldn't have... actually, from the crit, yeah, actually, he would be stunned. Apology, that came from the crit, not from the damage itself.
All this could have been avoided if we just talked. I'm just gonna look at him. I'm not gonna move. Nothing. He's disarmed now, so... Does he have any other weapons on him?
Doesn't look like it.
That's all I'm doing for my turn. Just...
Move over to Visha.
I walk right up to him and caress his face and says, really, love, you should have just walked away.
I am a soldier of Nilfgaard.
You are. Nothing wrong has happened here. I won't hold these ruffians against you or Nilfgaard. There's still a chance. You leave us be. No harm, no foul.
Your persuasion roll.
Right.
Does she
An
get any
11.
modifiers or anything, since he's now outnumbered, unarmed, and probably scared shitless?
Being very nice right now. She's just gently caressing his face. She only got an 11 though, so.
He imploded.
No, we did
No,
not
no.
implode, just
He-
rolled low.
He imploded.
Oh, I see. Right.
Jesus. Take your friends and go. I need to tend to my men.
Right now. As you do. And she leans down and gives him a kiss before walking away.
Kurah, do you follow?
As I walk past, I'm just gonna whisper more or less, sorry that this happened.
Nyoka, do you follow?
Come on, waiter. I'll patch you up.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I'm going to make the executive decision here to not go back in the tavern. And instead, we're going to go to the cart. We're going to go to our cart. I'm going
You
to
make your
pat
way.
our dear horse on the cheek.
The scene is yours. Nyoka, it doesn't look like you can stay here. And these two people, one of them has offered to patch you up. One of them is clearly a witcher. What is your plan? What are you going to do next?
I guess heal.
As we get
Yeah.
to the cart, Kurah's just gonna be like, well, that was right shit.
Well, nobody died, so that's points for us. Come on, into the cart. She gestures at Nyoka. She gets inside as well. You start seeing her take out stuff, patch you up.
Yeah, I'll silently do as I'm told.
It occurs to you, Nyoka. You don't even know their names.
I was about to just say, I'm Kurah, by the way.
Visha does not give her name.
Nyoka.
Right, Nyoka, lay down then. Let me see your face.
Are you expecting payment?
No, not yet. Figure I stop the bleeding first.
I'll follow directions for the time being.
When he's laid down in the cart, I'm gonna assume Kurah is heading off with the horse and such, and she's going to pull out needle and thread just in case she needs it. But first she's going to inspect the wound and see how deep it is. She might not have to stitch it. It might just be a matter of putting some balm over it.
It looks like balm. It's not terribly deep. And in this moment, you can recognize that the soldier pulled back in the last moment.
Very well. It's clear he wasn't trying to kill you. And she begins to clean the wound. Gentle but firm to get the blood out, any debris from dirt or whatever that might have gotten in. And then she pulls out a jar, and it's just a salve, a kind of like the hue of Vaseline almost. And she will begin to rub that into the wound to stop the bleeding. And just put a little bit of cloth that she takes from her bag and seals it in place in order to make sure nothing else gets into it, just in case infection is a thing. So, she just takes her time patching his face up.
Not a healing mage, I see. Okay.
Something like that. The difference between poison and medicine is simply the dose. And she says this in a way that is like, fuck around and I'll kill you.
Can Kurah hear all this from the front?
From the front of the
I'm
wagon?
not whispering.
I
Yeah.
would imagine so.
Kurah's just gonna kind of chuckle, and you can hear that.
Well, I'll just take out my medallion and hold it a little bit, and I'll say, I'm pretty sure I got enough poison through my veins as it is.
And with that is where we're going to end today's episode. New companions found, and a journey with no destination. This is where we end today's episode of Ways of Old, Lost Days. We'll see you guys next time. Same time, same place, same heroes. See you then.